everyone, and welcome to another Paranormal Q&A with Carly Hall and
Jack Kenna.
There you go. So we messed y'all up tonight. We introduced each other.
Yeah.
So anyway, nobody's on yet anyway. We started a few minutes late. Sorry for that. It was all Carly's fault. She was arguing over microphones with me.
Yep.
Actually, it was my fault, but it's okay. I'll take the heat. So, hello, Kristen. Kristen just popped on. I see. Or Kirsten. Sorry, said it wrong. Kirsten. It's Kristen. Sorry. I just looked quick. Oh, come on. I just looked quick. I saw the K. I saw an R, and I just jumped on it. So, sorry, Kirsten. Good to see you, though. Is Carl Mitchell. Michelle. How you doing out there, Michelle? It's Millins. I can pronounce the last word.
It's millions.
Perry March. How you doing
Yeah.
out there? Oh, they'll say hi, Carly. Hi, Carly.
Hi.
Hi, Carly. Oh, and then he says hi, Jack. Hi, Jack. Don't remember, never yell that on a plane. Okay.
That's
Good
true.
evening, folks. John McGinnis. How you doing out there? So we're just getting started here. So, anyways, the biggest new thing I guess we got is you'll see it in the background there. I put it up as our background. Spirits of the Sea Witch, Paranormal Investigation, and it says of the USS Salem. In Quincy, Massachusetts, we'll be doing that on August 7th, everybody. That's why I threw that up there. And you'll be there if you go. You'll be there with myself, Carly Hall, and our Spirits of New England team founder, Ellen McNeil, and the Spirits of New England team. You've seen us all on TV at one point or another. There's even a couple members of Spirits team that have been on shows that you probably just don't remember, such as Sarah Campbell, Ellen's daughter. So, but anyways, we're doing an investigation, kind of a lecture, meet and greet, investigation, blah, 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 blah. And the cost is $75 per person. But what I don't mention on there, part of that's actually about half of that $75 goes back to the USS Salem. So, we have to pay for the place, right? So, so we're not making $75 off of each of people. I hope you don't think that. But I do hope you can come out. We're gonna have pizza and salad and soda and water. It may be something else there too. Who knows? But we're definitely doing those things. But we hope you come out. And it's a short time frame. Again, it's August 7th, so Saturday. It's a Saturday. Come out, join us. Take a trip out. Come on. COVID's basically over. Let's go for it. We were actually on there when COVID was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost over. If you're vaccinated, it's pretty cool. We were actually there before there was vaccinations, so and we were okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of pretty much social distance. I mean, stuff like that. So, but come on out, enjoy it. If you have been vaccinated, come on out, enjoy yourself. Even if you haven't, come on out. We'll do the social distancing thing with you all. So it'll all be good. We just miss you all. We want to get you back out there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, Sandy Carr, I see is here. How you doing out there, Sandy? Bob Burnell. We get everybody coming on. How's everybody tonight? All right. So, guys, any questions? Throw them out there at us. We're always here to answer them for you. That's what this show is about. Answering the questions for you guys of anything you have. Paranormal-wise, what else has been going on? Well, Spirits has had a couple new inquiries for investigations. We're looking at those right now. We have a couple, client forms come in. So we're looking into those and seeing what we can do for people. Actually, I didn't tell you this, but Stacy sent us some stuff just the other day on a client that she's looking to help, and just wanted our opinion on some things. I got to get back to her with that, and we're going to do that. And let's see, what else we got going on? New events coming up. I mean, a lot of stuff's beginning to happen this year, and that's good. I think that's good, a good thing. I even got to start back to work sometime in July, by the sounds of it. But I'll be just going back 2 days a week to start, and working the rest of the days from home, and going from there. And Carl, yes, hi, how you doing out there, Carl? Chris Sanders is here. It's been a minute. Hope you all are well. Yes, it's true. It's been a minute. And we did not get to go with Chris to the Salem. He actually invited us to the USS Salem the same weekend my son was graduating from college. So, Chris, that's why we did not go. I think I messaged you about that. But that's why we did not go and join you. Otherwise, we would. But yeah. Son graduating college kind of took precedence. So he's doing well. Oh, okay. I guess yeah, we did. Okay, we pronounced Michelle's last name wrong. Sorry about that. We'll figure it out. I'm not even sure I can still pronounce it the way she broke it out for me. I don't know. Millions.
I think. Oh. I said it. Yeah. Okay. So I said millions. It's
Okay.
million.
Millions. I think you pronounce it yes. Is it a silent S? We don't know.
Michelle. It's Michelle.
It's Michelle. We'll get it right one of these days, Michelle. You will make sure we get it right one of these days. It's okay. It's all right. You know, we're all friends here. We all love each other. So that's all that matters. And Chris says they're having a Paracon in October. Oh, yes, that's right. You are. I'll post that up there. Remind me which weekend it is because I have people ask me a lot of stuff about October posted. Oh, I don't know what happened there. People, our internet just went fluky on us. We're back, though. Yeah, that was weird. Back? Well, we've had some storms out here, so if you do lose us, it's because we've been having some electrical storms out here. So if we lose our internet, forgive us. It's not. We're not just cutting you off.
It's really stormy outside right now. So
yeah, so we're having some bad storms. So if we do lose you tonight, please forgive us in advance. Here's something from Bob. It says, hey, Jack and Carly, I'm going up to Millinocket, Maine next weekend and have a question. The mill's shut down there a while back. Unemployment through the roof. Everyone is depressed. Do you think things like that contribute to local hauntings in the area? Oh, that's a good question. So I guess the basic of that question is, Bob, tell me if I'm reading it wrong, is does the environment of a location, of like a town or something, affect the hauntings in that area? In other words, the energy being given out by the people living there. That's a very good possibility. I had never really given it a thought to an entire town before, how that can affect it, but it's a possibility. What do you think, Carly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for the spirits that feed on negative energy, 100%. You know, because when you're depressed, you're giving out a lot of low wavelengths out, and things can latch onto that and actually make it worse because they want that. They feed off of that, right. So they're going to emphasize that.
Right. But what about more positive hauntings?
And same thing with positivity.
You think that so the negativity would affect, one of my point is the negativity, like he's talking about, people depressed and out of work, would affect more positive type hauntings. Like say a haunting that's not usually malicious or anything to somebody that's there, it's just a spirit that's there. Would they be affected by those things that are going on in those people's emotions? Why not? You would be. Right? If you had friends there and that were out of work and stuff, wouldn't you be a little bit more depressed about what's happening in your region?
Yeah.
So wouldn't a spirit be?
Yeah. I think
especially somebody who's attached to that house there in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Because their neighborhood is going to hell in a handbasket, so to speak.
Yeah.
So not members, just negative, yes.
You know,
and even,
it
wouldn't even affect just the negative
friends.
by increasing its negative would increase in energy,
mm-hmm.
but would a positive then decrease in its energy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You also have people feeling the depression off other people, so it's multiplying, you know, empaths and stuff. So, yeah, I'd say yeah. Absolutely.
So if that's the case, would you actually, since you're putting out more negative energy, would a more benign or positive haunting become less? Would you experience it less? Or would it begin
Probably.
to become negative itself?
Well, depressed people are not necessarily focusing on the positive anyway, so that's kind of a tough question to ask. So,
Yeah, true.
I mean, it all goes down to, in that sense, that all goes down to when an event happens, what you take from that is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So, if you take the negative from a situation, which typically is what people who suffer from depression get,
Yeah.
that's what they're going to take from that. So that's kind of a question that can't really, that's subjective. Well, you also have, on that end, you also have manifestations as well, because people are putting out that energy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is more energy, regardless of what type it is.
You have strong intents. People just thinking or wishing for certain things. You can manifest things from that. So, especially depression is a very strong, very very strong place to be. So, it can be very overwhelming. I think that it could actually affect other spirits, and they could also create a negative thought form as well from it. So
true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can be creating more. Just take a moment out to say hello to Helena King, who stayed up, even though she's exhausted. And you can tell Casper, his godparents say, we love him and her, whichever. Yeah, it's him, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Casper could be either way. But they did find out, right? So, I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, hello. We love you. Hello.
Hello.
I see. Barry says his internet is freezing up tonight too. Okay, yes, I think that's all throughout New York State. We're getting all kinds of storms here in New York State. Barry's just talking about they just had a big storm sweep through. We had one a little earlier, but we're getting another one again coming up here. So, yeah. And Bob brings up Detroit, and look what happened there. Yeah. Well, you look at all those big cities and all the craziness that's been going on in New York City, too. A lot of the crime and everything else that's going on. It's got to affect the paranormal activity that's in those cities and stuff quite a bit.
100%.
Yeah. And not in a good way necessarily either.
A lot of energy transformation that is definitely, we're probably going to be seeing the effects from that afterwards in the paranormal. I wouldn't doubt it. The anniversaries of it, that's, I mean, not to put it, I'm not gonna put it lightly, people were blatantly murdered in the middle of the street. Like, that is a lot of energy to put out, and there's gonna be a lot of paranormal footprints left behind from that, if there hasn't been already. So
because there's lots that's going on. And Helena King says, well, you can read it. Carly, are you a ghost? Are you ghosted? Are you a ghosty knight? What? I can tell by the way you were talking. I get the feeling all too well. I go like, well, she's also okay.
Oh, I'm a little tired. I've been.
Yeah, she's been streaming and gaming.
No, not streaming.
I don't know how many hours.
14 now.
Yeah.
We have a tournament tomorrow, so I've been training all day today for it.
And she'd still be training, but she knew she had to do the show. So,
and I'm gonna be going right back at it afterwards.
Goes to show you how much she loves all of us. She broke away to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Burnell says, "Gonna be a wet T-shirt night in the Salem." I don't know. August, some guys can be different. You never know. Sometimes an August night, it can be actually not too bad. It's during the day. Ugh, you don't want to be on the Salem during the day. I can tell you that. It's just a big metal ship. Brings in a lot of heat. But at night, it usually does cool down. It usually doesn't get too bad. It's not so bad. I've been in there on some of the hottest nights, and it wasn't too bad. We actually even stayed overnight. It wasn't too bad. So you just never know. It just depends on what the weather's going to be. I wouldn't want to be on it tonight. That's all I could say. I probably would not want to. Well, then again, they are right on the water. So maybe you get a cool breeze coming. You gotta remember, you get a cool breeze coming up.
Yeah, just like hang out outside and you'd be fine. But like, I remember when we went, it was pretty hot when we went though. Like it was
cooled off
cozy.
As the night went on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember one room was one that was really, really hot, but it wasn't even like intolerable. Like it was tolerable. And I think the masks were kind of like making it worse though.
Yeah. I think that was more towards the one engine room there. That was more warm because it's kind of a long, narrow passageway.
Yeah. I think it was the masks that were making it worse though, because you're breathing your own hot air, and then that makes it hotter. I think that because once we were like in an open area and we were able to take our masks off, it was fine. But since with people being vaccinated, you won't have to wear your mask, so it should not be a problem.
No, you don't. That's the point. That's the point I was trying to make. If you've been vaccinated, you don't have to have a mask on. You can come.
It's fine.
If you haven't been vaccinated, you can still come. You just got to wear a mask and do the social distancing. But it's still
So.
Which I'll be honest, I don't get that. I really don't. Because well, I guess in a way I do. Like if you're around a bunch of people who've been vaccinated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that they can get the disease.
Right, but it's not about getting the disease. It's about carrying it. We're still vectors. We're still people, objects that the thing can cling on to. So if you're transferring it from one, say you transfer it to me, and then I go somewhere else and give it to someone who hasn't been vaccinated yet, then they're infecting themselves and a bunch of their family members that are not vaccinated yet, who could still
or may not get vaccinated. That's a personal choice too. That's all personal.
But it could be also
true.
issue.
I guess.
Like
I
you know how hard it hit me. I have a compromised
I had it too.
Right. I have a compromised immune system. So if someone be like, I don't know if I'd be able to, stand the vaccine, like then it's fine. It's your choice. Yeah. But you still don't
that's one
want
thing
to...
I don't agree with is these, and we're getting off topic here, but I don't agree with these states and the government trying to force people or shame people into getting the vaccine. You don't want to get it, don't get it. And there's states and stuff, some states and stuff are doing things to try to shame people into going to get it or forcing them to go get it. Don't do it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. That's a personal choice. That's where I stand on that. And that's, again, that's your own choice. And I don't think what some states like New York State is doing, they're saying they're going to open up to events and, people are vaccinated can sit in one section and unvaccinated people are going to have to sit in another section. No, that's segregation. You can't do that. Sorry. It is. You can't do that. It's like putting you and saying, oh, you're over there. You're shamed. You have to sit over there. You have to sit in the high seats away from everybody. No. Wrong. Can't do it. Because it wouldn't make a difference. You're inside a stadium thing. You're inside a thing, so it's not going to matter anyway. So,
yeah, but the thing is that the people who aren't vaccinated, they don't have to wear their masks. They don't have to have all that. But they can still be carrying the coronavirus, even though they're not.
No, but if somebody else is sitting next to them that's wearing a mask, that's a friend of theirs. That is
protection for the people who are not vaccinated.
No, I get that, but
yes,
my point
it's not segregation. They're just separating the people who could be in danger.
I don't see that.
Because if they're exposed, they could get sick.
They're still being exposed. You're all in the same building together.
Not as high of a risk if they sat right next to someone who could have it on their body.
Well, just because you haven't been vaccinated doesn't mean you weren't exposed, or you don't have it.
True, but it lowers the risk.
I don't think it does. I just don't think it. If you're all there, you're just as much at risk.
I don't
Putting
know.
them in separate sections doesn't make any difference. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I see. Barry talks about it's been a challenging year, 2021. This is true. He talks about his. We're really off topic today. Questions about the paranormal people would be good. Good news. Looks like his Honda is. We'll be paying. He'll be getting paid for the Honda for the stuff that went on with that, which is good. Court settlement case going on. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. That's a good thing. It's a positive thing. Let's see. Phone's charged, case of lose power. Everybody's talking. Blah 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 blah. Helena King, Governor Ghostly Night. I'm half asleep. She is way over in the UK, people. She's a long way away. Oh, we did have a friend come in from way over in. Did she say Scotland or Ireland? I forget. I wanted to make that point. Ireland. Annette Walsh is from Ireland, so she's way over there. Any questions, people? Any questions you got? If I missed it, let me know. Okay, you see. I don't have any paranormal questions tonight. I'm not seeing any. Okay, we're going to move off from the whole COVID thing, people. We're going to talk about paranormal. Let's see. What did I want to talk about? Oh, I did sign up. We'll be doing our paranormal class again this fall through SUNY in Schenectady. So I believe they accepted the thing to do the course again. So we'll be doing that, and that'll all be just on campus. There's no off-campus stuff, so I can't do an investigation. But I figured out something we will do, which is we're going to use the different equipments and stuff to just do kind of a lab. So we'll kind of do an investigation, but at the facility. So because we can't do anything off-campus, I did find that out. But we will be doing the course again this fall. We'll be starting in September. That will come out. I'm sure they'll be doing an announcement. I'll post that later on too. And it says, "Boy, keeps talking to dead people." Here's all right. Now we're getting some questions here. Back and forth. Been working on a new audio horror series. Oh, Nick's been working on an audio horror series. Oh, that would be interesting.
That's cool.
It'll be releasing soon. Very cool. Can't wait to see that. And let's see. We did have a question from Karen. Karen says, I'll give you a question. What is your experience with shapeshifters? I haven't had any. I haven't had any experience with shapeshifters.
We've had cases where spirits have had the ability to shapeshift, but they weren't shapeshifters.
True. I mean, yeah, they weren't necessarily shapeshifters. I had that one that showed itself to me as a gingerbread man. Don't ask.
And we had the
mirror. It was in the shape of one. It was,
and we had the
dark.
Yeah, and
we had the mirror. Yeah, that was a transformation. I think transformed though. We didn't see it, but the footsteps were there, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I guess in a way that was a shapeshifter, but that was something demonic still too. Most of the stuff, I guess, if you call shapeshifters, have been demonic type hauntings that we've run into. Both those cases were.
Yeah.
So
they weren't
but I have never run into.
Of it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't run anything to like a skinwalker or anything like that. I haven't investigated anything like that. I do watch those shows. I think they're very interesting, but I haven't run into anything like that myself. But shapeshifting, well, demonics are shapeshifting. Favorite tools to use for investigating, Carly? What's yours?
I like a recorder and a K2. Very simple, you know.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I have found I do like the SLS camera. Yeah, be careful with it, but I do like it. But I guess my favorite would still be a digital recorder, or the digital recorder on my cell phone. Remember, if you got a cell phone, you pretty much investigate wherever you go. If you got a smartphone or an iPhone, every app you need to do an investigation with. You have a digital recorder, you have a video camera, you have a regular camera. Granted, it's not infrared, but you have a camera. And you got apps you can download to help you out too if you want to use those. Some are good, some aren't good, but I use the Ghost Radar app myself, which I find very useful.
You'll have to let me use more equipment in the future, though, because my abilities are right now. So.
Oh yeah.
I'll be the equipment person. I'll be able to try out
all the equipment.
Else.
You can use anything you want. We got enough equipment. We haven't used it.
I get to try them all out and see what my new favorite is.
Yeah, I can buy new cameras and everything else. I haven't been able to really even use them. But that's okay. We got them. We got a ton of equipment. I think I said this. Bowie keeps talking to dead people, just like his mama. He isn't remotely bothered by them. That's good. Well, hopefully he never runs into anything that's really bad.
Well, if you think about it, this is the one thing that I have always thought about. With kids, when they see them, it's just like us walking into a group of people walking around. That's how they see them, or some children. The ones that are scary, I think, are the ones that are in their personal space, like in their bedroom when they're sleeping. Like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, this is my safe space. You're intruding. Or if their parents are like, ghosts aren't real, or they're and then that kind of seems kind of scary, because if you're looking at something right in front of your face and your parents are telling you that's not real, that's very confusing. So, and it is kind of scary because the person's telling you one thing and the person that you trust the most and are following are telling you another. So, it's
always got that going for him.
Yeah. But I can tell you, whenever I've had someone come up to me who was a spirit, it literally looks as if like it's someone standing right next to me, and it's a very confusing thing to have happen to you, because it's very rude to ask, "Are you alive?" Or "Do you have a body?" So it's.
Well, it's one thing if it keeps going like that for Bowie. At least he's got parents who understand.
Yeah, exactly. So it's adorable.
It's a positive thing. It is. It is good.
The spirits.
Yeah, it could end though. He could. By the time he turns 7 or 8, it may not happen anymore.
And that's fine.
And that is fine. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because sometimes it does go away. Sometimes it doesn't go away. Sometimes it comes back later on.
Especially if it's nurtured. It's just like any skill growing up. If it's nurtured, it will grow. If not, then it diminishes. It's like a muscle. You got to work it.
Yeah. Unless he doesn't want to.
Exactly. So you won't nurture it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you won't nurture it. So there you go.
That's what I did. Blocked it all out. Didn't come back to me until I was in my 40s. So do storms stir up spirits? Well, they definitely stir up activity, right? Well, I don't know if it stirs them up, but
it's like a battery.
It definitely provides a lot more energy for them to feed off of.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of, I would almost say, a fact at this point, given
if you've
given what we know with hauntings and what happens during the storms with hauntings. I mean, they do pick up. They do tend to pick up.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever been outside right before a thunderstorm, your hair actually starts to rise. And that's how you can tell lightning's coming. Like, energy is not from a thunderstorm is not just the lightning bolts or the clouds bumping into each other and creating thunder. It's literally energy particles in the air that you can't see that are constantly moving around. So, I mean, that's like a battery for them, like a generator. So
that's why I say I think that's one thing that the paranormal community could agree on, is that storms do provide for an increase in activity.
I love thunderstorms. I love a nice, like, perfect gray sky that's like I don't even know how to describe
Lightning
it.
hits the
just
roof and cracks your
well,
house
not
open.
really lightning, but like
Oh.
the pre-lightning, like the pre-rain. Like I love a rainstorm. I love sleeping during a rainstorm, but like just the clouds like right before a thunderstorm when they roll in, like the nice dark deep ones. Oh, it's just makes me feel so good. I don't know why.
Not a lot of people feel that. I think it's the energy that's being put into the air. It kind of charges you up as well.
Suck
So,
it up. I'm
we
just
do.
like,
And
I
Helen
love it.
agrees with all that. She's saying it's amazing evidence things being caught during and after storms. Yeah, it's true. Excuse me, people. Sorry. Been a long day. I see.
But yes, if you're ever in a thunderstorm or a thunderstorm's coming and your hair starts standing up, get the hell out of there because that's an electrical charge.
Yes.
And if your hair on your head starts standing up, get out of there because that's not a good sign. So I know that from soccer practice.
If you're standing next to an aluminum boat with a bunch of fishing rods in it and you actually see the lightning strike the boat, you may want to move a little bit away. Yeah. That actually happened to me up in the boonies of Canada. As I was lucky in a way, I was 10 feet away from the boat. I did not have a fishing rod in my hand. I actually watched lightning strike the aluminum boat and the fishing rods. I actually saw them move. Luckily, nothing got hurt, but I was like, just gonna walk a little further away. I can feel the energy coming off of it.
Yeah, so it's like a phew.
Ken's talking about it would be a great class to take learning equipment, personal senses, and figure out. Yeah, and that's what we're really planning on doing with the lab that we're going to do for this year for that course. I think that's what he was getting at. Helena says favorite kit SB7 and our Sony camera. There you go. SB7 is good. I can only listen to it for so long. Then that constant static just wears on my ears.
And
I can't do more than
audio review.
Yeah, audio review is even worse. So Barry's got a couple questions. Speaking of storms, why does it seem that paranormal activity picks up during thunderstorm? Well, we just kind of discussed that, I think. Do you think, do you know how long the spirit activity will remain if it's highest status? It doesn't seem to really last an extremely long time. I don't think we discussed that. I think we covered the first part of that question.
How much energy is being put out in the air?
Yeah, from my own experiences, I've noticed like it might linger for about 30 minutes after the storm passes, and then activity starts to kind of drop off. That's my own experiences with investigations in storms. Doesn't seem to last for a lot longer than that, which means the energy is getting picked up pretty quick, or it's dispersing fairly quickly, which is true because storms disperse fairly quickly too. And Nick's saying those storms definitely do. We talked about hair stand up like that, like you were talking about during storms. Yeah, when it's getting that close, you want to kind of just
kind of not be there. You don't really want to.
Bob says he grew up in Maine, had tin roofs, and loved the sound of rain. Rain on the tin roof. Yeah,
that's really nice.
It is very cool. And Helen's just talking about Bowie. Nah, we know how you are. We know you never. They were just talking about just kids in general about these abilities. Some parents don't encourage it in their kids and try to tell them, "Oh, it's not real. It's imagination. It's not a good thing to do that either, because then the kid just thinks he's going nuts."
Yep, I was almost admitted.
Yeah, that did happen to Carly. Yeah. Her parents
you can imagine what that does to the mental health. That's great.
Yeah, and Nick talks about he's talking about storms and tornado actually formed.
Oh, jeez.
We had that happen around here. I actually watched a tornado spout just up the hill from me. It didn't touch down, though, luckily. so nobody got hurt. But yeah, those winds and like that, we actually did have one touchdown another time. Tree ended up on top of a neighbor's house. The tree uprooted and fell right on their house. And that, yeah, you're right. It sounds like a freight train coming through.
Yep.
I think heat from the summer can provide energy for spirits. This is like actually, it's actually potentially a possibility. And that's based on some experimentation I've seen done with heat lamps. And the spirits seem to be more attracted to the heat lamp than the like an EM pump that was being used. Right? So they were more attracted to the heat, the energy coming off the heat, which is it's a heat lamp, so it's actually like an ultraviolet light. So I wonder if they were more attracted to that. I don't know.
Well, if you think about heat, I'm a very scientific based person. So when water is being boiled, water is made up of H2O. So 2 hydrogen particles and 1 oxygen particle.
Okay.
And they're connected to each other by a hydrogen bond. Now, when water is boiled, the particles start to vibrate.
True.
And this has to do how solid, liquid, and gases are. So a solid, the particles are not vibrating at all. So that's ice. If you melt ice into water, the particles are vibrating a little bit. If you boil the water, it's vibrating tremendously. Like it's literally
that's
condensation, right?
Yeah, that's true.
This bubbles up and it turns into
creating
gas.
steam.
Yes. Now, that heat, which heat is a product of, that might produce more energy than an EM pump.
Good point.
So they're going to choose the higher source of energy that's easier to grasp from and is stronger and give you a direct response than an EM pump that's not producing as much, which is electrical. So it's not producing heat, it's just throwing energy particles out in the air. If that makes sense.
It actually does. Yes, I think it does. I was just reading another thing.
Yeah.
Lana brought up about kids. And this is a good point, too. You know? Her niece wouldn't go to bed once because there was a ghost in her room. She goes, "Really? Are you sure about that?" She went, "Oh, I forgot you can see them. Fine. There's no ghost. I just don't want to go to bed. I'm going to bed." Yes, kids will lie in order to stay up late. Remember that, people.
That's funny.
Because a kid says they see a ghost doesn't mean they always do, especially as they get older. They're like, "Oh, if I see that, I can stay up late." Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. Yeah. Kids do that, though.
That's me, though. I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have done that.
Yeah. But chances are, you may actually be seeing one, but who knows?
Well, actually, I did. I had a little girl. Her name was Wanda, remember? I told you about this. Yeah, except I didn't tell my parents we were staying up late and talking and playing. So I was actually just staying up late, but we got caught.
You did eventually, I remember that.
Yep.
Wanda. There was a fish called Wanda once.
Was there?
Yeah. I bet Barry knows what I'm talking about. I bet Bob knows what I'm talking about. A fish called Wanda. Helena may even know what I'm talking about. Helena, sorry. I would say that. It was a movie. Fish called Wanda. Carl says, "Yep." It's an old movie you haven't seen. You should see it, though, because it's really very funny. It's a very funny movie. It's called A Fish Called Wanda. I'm just saying. You had a friend called Wanda. So I said I knew a fish called Wanda once. You reading something there?
Yeah, berries. I'm just thinking. Like, I guess they could. But I personally think that's more of like a mix between a solid and a liquid, like a gelatin. If they vibrate on a much lower level, I think that's more of like a gelatin-based substance, like a mixture in between. But
which one are you talking about?
Barry says, "I believe that solids will still vibrate, but on a much lower level." So like a semi-solid.
Oh yeah, well yeah, vibrate. Yeah. Solids vibrate, yes, but yes, it is a lower level. Depending on the solid. You know, because a crystal is a solid, but some crystals vibrate at a high rate. You should know that. It's still
Well,
a
I'm
solid.
thinking of the particles that it's made up of. Like the particles keeping it together. Not the energy that it contains.
Oh, okay.
If that,
Well, I'm just saying, well, yeah, because a
but if
crystal.
a solid vibrated slightly, that would make it unstable, wouldn't it? So it would be able to move if you pressed on it.
Well, now you're really getting into a lot of scientific stuff. I'm not totally
right. Like I'm talking on like
because some solids
level.
can. Well, it wouldn't necessarily be unstable. It could be becoming unstable. Something actually has to cause it to vibrate. Well, think of it as, an earthquake. Okay, the plates shift; they begin to vibrate. They slide and they begin to shift and vibrate, which is what sends out that.
But the particles of the crust.
Yeah.
I'm saying like the dirt, the actual like particles, the hydrogen,
that's shifting.
the oxygen, the.
No, you'd have to talk to.
The carbon, the yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything begins. Well, everything begins to vibrate as all that begins to occur, which is why you get an earthquake.
I mean, you could. I'll look into that. I want to look into that.
It does. It affects everything. It affects the molecular level. Which is why when if you have a solid or two solids or whatever begin to create friction too much, they can actually get to a point of melting.
Okay, here we
pressure.
Go. So, molecules in solids generally do not just move about. They are fixed in one spot within the solid. However, they still do vibrate. And as such, they still have motion. So, yes. So, I think we were agreeing of the same thing. They're not moving around.
Right.
But they are shaking a little bit. But they're still attached. Yes. So, I'm talking about like a little bit of separation.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Well,
so
if
we're
you go on the molecular level, there's actually.
We're both arguing of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, if you go on the molecular level, there's still space between the molecules.
There are.
Even in the solid.
I want to listen to what Karen says. Hang on. Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like Barry was saying, if a solid object doesn't vibrate, it will collapse. A solid piece of iron will still vibrate. That's true. That's how bridges are built too. They're built to give, to vibrate, to sway. And if they were too rigid, they would actually collapse. They would shatter. There's a breaking point.
Okay. That makes sense. I understand that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but when you get into the molecular level of things, it gets a little crazy. Like if you say a solid piece of iron, if you actually went into the molecular level of it, you would actually find space between the molecules. So then, is it actually solid?
That's true.
That's a thing that's been going on for years. But it is solid to us.
Interesting.
But potentially, it's really not.
That's
solid
cool.
On a molecular level.
That's cool.
You could pass through it potentially, if you were small.
That's cool.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Even you aren't small enough to pass through that, girl.
I know, right?
Yeah, unless I throw you through the door. I won't do that, though.
I didn't know that glass was an amorphous solid. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, actually, do you know if windows are in a house long enough, they've actually melted?
Really?
They've actually, yeah, if you look at a really old house with the original windows in it, they will be thicker at the bottom than they are at the top.
I didn't know that.
Because over the years, the glass flows.
Oh,
Take a look at an old house, old windows in a house. Sometime.
I haven't been old enough to do that.
You've been in old houses
I know,
with
but
old
like I don't know
windows.
that.
Yes, it's actually true.
Wow. I'm sure they've replaced the windows by then because you have to have a draft.
No,
at that
there's some.
point.
Hey, there's some. The windows in this house weren't replaced until like. Well, how old is John? He was 3 or 4 at the time. He was 3, I think 3 at the time. So he's 20. 20 what now? 20, 25?
25. Is he off?
26?
Does he have health
Yes,
insurance?
he's
I
on.
don't know.
Yeah, well,
Does he
yeah,
have
he's.
health insurance?
Yeah, well, anyways, they only got, and before that, you could actually see some of those windows that were in the house. They were thinner at the top than the bottom.
Oh,
Now, I'm not talking huge amount, but you could see the
but
difference.
still,
When you really
like,
look, you can see the difference.
that's really cool.
Yeah. So people may say, what the hell does this have to do with ghosts and hauntings? Technically, a ghost is still some type of energy.
Yeah, it feeds off of energy. I mean,
Well,
what are you
not only
thinking?
that, but it is made up
It's
of some
energy,
type
yeah.
of energy.
So
Right? We actually don't know what type of energy it's made up of. Is it electrical? Is it plasma? Is it? But you
anyway,
can pass through it.
back to what we were talking about. The heat particles might be more easier and more powerful to grasp than the EM pump that's being emitted.
I think that's true, and that's what I was getting at. I think
Yeah.
it's true. So, heat in the summertime heat that we talk about could potentially provide energy. Yes. Actually, if we think about it, we had a lot of activity that night on the Salem.
Yeah, we did. In those spaces that were warmer than the
We're
others.
warm. Yeah, yeah, we actually did. Even the hand moving in front of us got captured.
Yeah.
And we have that photo somewhere.
Mm-hmm. That was in the
It was-
space where the lights were turned on, and it was a lot warmer than in the space where the lights were off.
Yeah,
Because those
Chris
lights
had
had
sent me
been
that photo,
turned
so I got that. Yeah, that's
those-
right. That's
Those
correct,
lights had been
yes.
turned on all night.
Yeah, and
all
we
that-
had a
all
lot of
that day.
activity with Chris down in the one room. That was pretty warm down there.
Yeah. And you
Yeah,
got all
we
the
had a lot
body
of people
heat.
in that room too.
You have all the body heat coming off of people,
We filmed that. We got that footage somewhere. We filmed all that. But
And
we
in
had a
all
lot of
the
activity
rooms that
on
were
the
colder,
ship
we
there.
didn't get much activity at all.
Yeah, we had a lot of activity on the ship that time. I forget when we were there. So heat can create an energy for use, yes.
That makes sense
I would
though,
say.
because the room gets colder when you have more activity or when you feel like someone's nearby. The room does get colder when you start communicating.
Yeah.
And they're sucking up the heat.
Bob's talking,
Right.
so pressure would have a big bearing on them as well. I'm not so sure. Pressure is a completely different thing. Pressure can create heat,
Yes.
but it's not pressure itself.
Would that be more for something that a body would be more affected by?
Yeah, we're affected by
Like a
pressure.
physical body?
We're affected by pressure.
Yeah. So if you're dealing with different pressures, like in different, I mean, it's not too much of a difference in different areas, unless you're talking about like mountains and.
Well, the thing of it is, barometric pressure has been thought to have an effect, things like that. Minor, but it's minor. How much does pressure affect them? I don't know. I mean, it's not like you're investigating in a pressure chamber where you could raise and lower the pressure significantly to see what happens. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would affect, an energy particle. Because really, you're talking about an energy.
Yeah. It could generate heat. Like it'd be easier, wouldn't it? In a sense.
Yeah, but if it's generating its own heat,
But how would you test that though?
you'd have to have a pressure chamber.
But how would we put a ghost in a pressure chamber?
You can't.
You can't. All right.
And
we'll
even
make
if
a
you
deal,
did,
guys.
he can go right through the wall and leave.
We need to make a deal with. We'll make a deal with.
And
the guys
even
that-
if you did, listen to this, even if you did, he could go right through the wall and leave.
That's true.
He's not bound by solids. I don't know if you could ever prove that.
They
I
could
don't
go
know if
right through
pressure
the
would have a
iron,
real
man.
effect.
There's spaces in between the
Iron
iron.
Man,
They could
that
go
would-
right through the iron.
Well, we know they can move through solid objects. So yeah, they don't seem to be bound by that type of stuff. They can actually be in more than one place at one time. So
Hang on a second.
I don't know if you could ever test that. I mean, they do measure barometric pressure. There's, those guys out there who, when they're doing all this, so yeah, atmospheric pressure, barometric pressure, they measure all that, and they don't know for sure if it has a real impact on it or not. Because the problem is when storms come and go, the barometric pressure changes, but is the pressure itself an impact on spirit activity, or is it more electrical energy? The ionization of the air, basically. So I don't think probably pressure has as much bearing as these other factors. I don't think so. But there's no way to prove or disprove that. So it's hard. Let's put it that way. It's hard. It could have an impact. But I think the storm thing really has more to do with the ionization of the air.
Yeah. The energy
Not so
emitted
much atmospheric or barometric pressure.
Yeah. It's more of what's being emitted from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. I mean, I could be wrong,
I agree with you.
I'm always looking for other ideas. I mean, if somebody figures out a way how to just test changing the atmospheric pressure to find out if the haunting will increase or decrease, more power to you. I just don't know how you would do that. You'd have to encase the entire building in something or the house in something that you could do that.
And
Raise
even
the
then,
pressure.
you'd have to hope that they want to talk to you that night.
And the spirit doesn't just leave and go, hell with it. So,
You might be chasing them off, going like, what the hell are you doing?
yeah, it could. You could find out well, then you'd at least find out the activity decreases, and no, that don't work. It does.
I know,
It decreases activity.
What are you doing to my home?
Yeah, you've decreased activity. Look at that.
We'll make a deal, guys, okay? You can test it when I go, and I'll go into a specific chamber, and then we'll have a talk, okay?
There you go. Good night, Helena. Helena's leaving. Helena's leaving, so I just want to say good night to her. Good night, Helena.
Not
you guys
really.
be good out there.
Not really.
Hello, Keith Bailey. I see Keith is there. I think I just saw him pop in. So, he came in a little earlier. Sorry, Keith. I just noticed you down there. So I wasn't ignoring you. We're in deep discussion, so I just didn't see that you popped in. Sorry.
You learn something new every day. I'm gonna get online and tell my coach, be like, "Hey, did you know that iron vibrates and you can pass through it?" It's gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah. So you guys need to create. See for you guys, like for your game, you guys need to create like ghost bullets that pass right through things to kill the opponent.
Is that what steel's made out of? Like steel's made out of iron, right? It's made out of it's like a combination.
Steel's made out of steel. Iron is a whole nother thing. Iron is.
It's made out of it's like a mixture of stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Steel, iron's one of them. I know that.
Iron is a component.
So is steel made out of a bunch of different metals that do the same thing? That's why it's so strong.
What do you mean, steel?
That'd be so cool.
Well, there's different types of steel too. There's so many different variations of steel. There's all different compositions. Some are stronger than others. Some are designed to be slightly weaker than others for various reasons. Gun steel is a whole nother thing. It's not your average steel. And companies are very protective of those compositions because they want the competition getting their recipe for their steel, especially when it comes to gun steels. Gun steel is a very complicated thing. Bob's talking about non-ferrous metals.
Oh, okay. Steel is an alloy, iron and carbon. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I knew it wasn't
sometimes
like an
other
actual...
thing. and sometimes other things. Not
Okay.
just sometimes not just iron and carbon.
Okay.
But yes, steel is a component. It's like aluminum. You also have aluminum composites. But iron was the original stuff. Then somebody found out how to add carbon to it to create a stronger material, which was steel.
Like aluminum foil.
What?
Aluminum.
Yes, aluminum foil is made from aluminum.
Ah,
This is very thin.
yeah.
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 It's also transparent aluminum.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
Well, actually, yes, there is. A lot of people don't know that, but there actually is what is called a transparent aluminum. It's not actually totally transparent, but you can somewhat see.
It's opaque.
Yeah. Because I actually saw it at a conference, military conference I went to. With some company that kind of developed it.
I've probably seen it too. Sometimes I just didn't know what it was.
No, you don't see. No, this is
No?
specialized stuff.
Oh,
You wouldn't
okay.
just see this anywhere.
But that's cool.
It's actually really too expensive to make more general level. Yeah. So. And he's talking about I-beam. Yeah. Do you know I-beams? You know the color you see, the red? You know that's rust? What you see on I-beams when they're putting buildings up and stuff, the red on the eye, it's rust. But it's meant to rust. Do you know why? Because it actually creates, it's an outer coating that protects it and makes it stronger.
I mean, you ever try to peel rust off of something? It's pretty damn hard.
But this rust is only on the surface. It doesn't penetrate into the I-beam.
So does it have a special coating on the outside then?
Yeah, the rust.
No, because it oxidizes to turn into rust. So how does it
Yes,
not
but only on the
penetrate?
outside.
How does it not do that? Does it have a coating
It's the
on the
way it's
outside
made.
that only oxidizes?
No,
What?
it's just the way it's made.
It's magic.
It's magic. It's not magic. I don't understand totally, but it does. The rust color on the outside, the rusting that occurs on the outside, actually
Well, that makes sense,
creates a
right? Well,
protective
no,
layer.
things can rust through. Why haven't they put that on cars? Like, come on.
Yeah, the rust is,
awesome.
as Barry says, rust is iron oxide. So it's an oxidation.
That's cool.
Still has nothing to do with ghosts, but what the hell? I think we're past our time anyway, so we don't have to talk about ghosts anymore. But very cool stuff, and it just goes to show you there's so much different crazy things out there. Paranormal isn't that crazy either, is it? Nope, it's not. How can people say it's not feasible when we're talking about things that not too long ago, you can't do that. That's not feasible.
I mean, people thought
you
that
can't
the
make
sun
anything
revolved around
better
the
than
Earth at
iron.
one time.
Yeah. You can't make anything better than iron. It's not possible. That stuff, that's steel. That's imagine it can't exist. You can't go faster than the speed of sound. The planes will just blow up. You can't do that. That's impossible.
That's cool to watch.
It's not physically impossible to go faster than the speed of sound, right?
That's cool to watch, though. Have you seen those planes go by on camera?
Yes.
My God, that looks cool.
I saw them in real life. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's true. I do forget what you do for work.
Yeah, I gotten to see some cool things over there.
See, I'm a lowly civilian, man.
Just
I don't
because
get
of
to
things
see
that are being
cool
practiced
stuff.
where I've gone.
I don't get to see that cool stuff.
I've gotten to see a few cool things.
I did get to see a cool thing though, because my uncle was in the Air Force.
Oh yeah, that's right. You saw
I saw a helicopter.
That's right. I saw a tank drop out of the back of a plane and its parachute didn't open. I saw it crash to the ground.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen that way. But
did you know? I saw a video of what you're supposed to do if you're parachuting and your parachute doesn't open.
Yeah.
Yep. You're supposed
dive faster so you hit the ground quicker.
That was an option, but
Just get it over with.
Was if you realize that you're not you like spread out flat eagle, and then you try to pull your backup chute that's like somewhere else, and to kind of try and slow you down.
Usually it's in front of you, yes.
And you're gonna flip around a little bit, or I think it was like you're gonna flip around at one point trying to like get to that position, and then you have to like not aim for water because that's gonna be cement, and you have to aim for trees, something to break your fall on the way down, and then when you hit the ground, you have to land on your feet so that you don't break your head, but you're gonna break a lot of bones, so prepare for a lot of pain. But you're just basically trying to slow your momentum
Suppose you could look for a
as
hay
much as
bale.
possible. Yeah, so it's like literally try to slow your. Just don't hit water.
That happened to some jumper in World War II. They actually, the chute didn't open, but they landed in a haystack in Europe, and they actually were okay.
Yeah, they probably were hurting, but
I think he was actually okay.
I mean, people have been picked up in tornadoes and been thrown around, and they've been okay. But you have to you can't be tense up. You have to be a wet, loose noodle.
True. And hey, Barry, no worries about the chemistry lesson. We're all off topic tonight. So
yeah, I love chemistry.
Yeah. Karen agrees. She has a degree in chemistry, and she says this is too much even for her at 9 p.m. I agree, Karen.
Or not jump out of a plane to begin with. I like John's thought process. See?
There you
go.
Like that's me. I don't
jump out of planes. No. Hell no. I won't do it for $2 million. No.
They had I'm really getting off topic. We're going to probably shut down a minute. But interestingly enough, they had a parachute club, or a skydiving club, I should say, at college. When I went to college, some people in our class went. One guy came back with a broken ankle because he landed on a fence in between two parts of the field. How do you do that? I don't know, but this guy,
he had all the room, and he landed on a fence.
And he hit the fence that was between the two fields. Yes, but with this guy, I could believe that.
I would be that kid.
He was a guy in his 20s.
That would be me. Do you know me? Yeah. That would be me. I trip on my way out of the office on the garbage can. Do you think that I could gracefully fall out of a plane, parachute, and land in the middle of a field? No.
Anything's possible. Well, they don't let you do it on your own anymore. You got to jump with somebody these days.
Still, I'd somehow make the guy land on a fence. On the way down, he'd be like, "Oh, we're heading towards a fence," and I'd be like, "It's okay. I've prepared myself for this."
Then he'd go, "Oh, okay. I'll let you take it first then."
Yeah.
I was going to go in back first, but since you expected it, I'll just face plant you right into it.
Roll right into it, man. It's going to be fine. Prepare for some workman's comp. It's fine.
All right, people. It's 9:07 p.m. If you're looking for any good books to read, you can catch mine on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Just look up my name, Jack Kenna. You'll find me on there. Carly, you can find Gaming Away. Gotta throw your information out there.
Twitch.tv/Chaos Jade.
There you go. And don't forget, yes, that's her team right there. And don't forget, if you can, join us at the Spirits of the Sea Witch, Paranormal Investigation of the USS Salem on August 7th. Again, part of that money will go about half that money goes over to Salem and the group there that helps take care of it. And actually, a good portion of our money is going to help to raise for our event in November, the Witch City Parafest. So that's what we're doing this for, and to help you guys investigate some new locations, new places, and hang out with us for a night. Yes.
Also, June 19th is also known as Juneteenth. I will be doing the 12-hour live stream to raise money for Deanna and my mind went blank. For the lovely Anthony Holmes. Yes, Anthony and Deanna. So all the money that is raised, I will include their fundraiser link to donate directly to that if you'd like. And any money that I raise myself during the live stream will be donated to them as well for their medical expenses. So
there you go. So join us for that. All right.
10
Thanks,
a.m.
everybody.
10 p.m.
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. There you go. We got a whole day. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And Bob, glad you enjoyed the show tonight. Hope anybody else did too. I know we're a little off topic tonight, but we always try to have a good time. All right. Love you all. Keith Bailey, take it easy. And see you all again soon. Good night.
Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.